So we're starting today's walk at the pub called the Fighting Cocks, which, I mean, I'm just a child. And we're in Horton Kirby for the Horton Kirby and St Peter and St Paul Circular. I had actually already been filming for about 10 minutes and then realised that I hadn't pressed record. I've had some, just of late, I've had some absolute nightmares while we've been filming. I lost all the sound, or a third of the sound on one of the walks I did, and I didn't record for nearly half of another one. So yeah, we've had some disasters, to be fair. And today has pretty much started in the same vein. I recorded the first 10 minutes, walking along chatting away to myself, and then realised once again I hadn't pressed record. Still, it's a winter's morning for you. How lovely is that? Now, now we're actually doing today's walk backwards, because at the start the path is completely flooded, and I do mean completely flooded. We'll get back there at some point on this trail. It might be a slightly shorter trail than it should be, because we won't be able to necessarily do it, but we won't be able to do it all. But yeah, it's absolutely flooded, so we're having to go backwards just to try and salvage the walk. But still, it's nice to be out. It's 2 degrees. 2 degrees centigrade. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit for our American friends, but yeah, it's pretty nippy. I'm still wearing shorts though. I found that I can't get to grips with walking in trousers. They're too constrictive. So the shorts do it for me a lot better. According to the All Trails app, this is a pleasant and relaxing walk along one of the most picturesque stretches of the River Darent, following the banks of the river through fields and copses. Gentle paths along the Darent Valley path with moderate slopes makes this an ideal route for all the family. Follow the fast-flowing Darent to discover the fine architecture of Farningham. Enjoy lovely views over the countryside and scenic paths along the water. Keep an eye out for wildlife, but take care on the rougher sections, especially in wetter conditions when the paths can be muddy and slippery. Appropriate footwear is required. You will be passing through active farmland, so care is needed around livestock, including horse. Well, I think it meant including horses, but so there we go. That's what we're in for today. Which way are we going? We want to go this way. Now, I don't know. I was just saying that the last couple of films I've had a bit of a disaster with. Things have been going wrong technically with filming and sound, and just as I was saying that the last film, or the last but one film that we did, the whole middle third of it had no sound. I just looked at my mic to find that it was off. So now I don't know whether, you know, the camera itself has been picking up the sound, or whether I've had no sound at all again. So things continue to go a little bit awry technically. I'm not quite sure why that is, but I have to say that since the seasons have changed, it feels much harder to do these walks. Firstly, the conditions they've been very wet, so that's made life really difficult. This one itself, the start of this trail, is completely and utterly flooded, but also just getting out and about, it does become a little bit more difficult than things were in the summer. But you know, we persevere, we're carrying on, because it's not impossible, and if it's not impossible, we'll keep going. Lovely big horse over there. Yeah. This is interesting. This is going to take us in a huge circle. By the look of it, it's going to take us in a huge circle. Then we're going to go off straight. Then we're going in another circle, and we're going to come back. So I mean, there's a good chance that we're going to have to sort of make this one up as we go along. You know, we're going to have to improvise. At least it's a sunny day today. You know, it's got to be better than it throwing it down with rain. At least it's sunny and crisp. It's what you expect from winter mornings in the countryside, I guess. Frost on the fields, all that kind of stuff. Now I think we've got a right turn coming up here, which will take us back to where the start should have been. And because we know that that's flooded, I'm wondering if it's worth going down it or not. Let's give it a try. See how we get on. I don't know much about Horton Kirby. I think it's near Swanley, which is, I think it's got a Kent postcode. Although I've always considered Swanley to more or less be London, because it's so on the outskirts that Although I'm sure people will disagree. I'm sure people who live here will say it's definitely Kent. I've never been here before. I've been to Swanley. I've never been to Horton Kirby. And apart from the floods, so far it's very pretty. Look at that view. Isn't that beautiful? How's that for a winter's morning? Oh, it's telling me I've taken a wrong turn. Oh, that's annoying. That's annoying. That's me not paying attention again. Oh dear. Here we go then. We'll walk back. At least I spotted it sooner rather than later. Now, I have a suspicion, as I say, that when we turn right up here, it's going to take us back to the flooded area. So we're not going to be able to carry on that way anyway. Yeah, there's definitely something going on up here. It's a fast flower. Yeah, I think this is the path we're meant to go down, but as I say, I feel like we're going to get there, or we'll get a certain amount of the way, and then we'll have to turn back. I mean, it's lovely to be down by the water, but you don't want to really be in it, do you? Not in 2 degrees weather. I thought that was somebody sitting on the edge of the river. I remember back in the summer saying that I was looking forward to the seasons changing, because it brings a whole new level of beauty with it, you know, the countryside. And it is beautiful. Don't get me wrong, visually it looks stunning in this weather, but like I say, it's a lot easier, or it's a lot more difficult to traverse in the bad conditions, or in the slightly worse conditions, than it was in the summertime. But you know, it is what it is. You do get, I mean, it's nothing big, it's not special, but I don't know, you just get little things like that just look nice next to the flowing river, the fast flowing Darent. You can see there the flooding begins. And further up here, I'm starting to see more and more puddles. So I'm pretty sure we're not going to be able to go much further on this section. There's some ducks over there. It's lovely, isn't it? Ah, there we go. Here we are. This is as far as we go, I'm afraid. That's the end of the path, which is very unfortunate, but it is what we thought was going to happen, so we've walked a bit of it at least. It's one fast flowing river. So it was the Darent Woods walk that I said I was going to do a few back. Apparently the most haunted woods in England, Darent Woods. Although I'm not quite sure how they judge that. But yeah, that's the one we did recently, where the whole middle section of the sound went. You could call that supernatural if you like, but it probably wasn't. Anyway, look at these horses. Beautiful. Beautiful horses. Anyway, yeah, so yeah, the whole middle section of the Darent Woods walk, the sound just went. And the weird thing was, it was still on. The mic was still on. So I just don't know what happened there. Some would say that's supernatural, but who knows. So we're going to have to do that one again. And I'll be honest, that was the muddiest walk I've ever seen. I mean, apart from this, which is obviously completely flooded, that was the muddiest walk that I've been on yet. So we'll have to give that one another try in the not too distant future. And the one that I did most recently, where there was a whole 45-minute section where I ended up in a field of bulls and cows, and let's just say they were intimidating. I had to go through this field, there was no other way, and I just had a gut feeling that they weren't going to be particularly friendly towards that. And as I started walking in, they started walking towards me, and as one did, they all did. And then I found myself in a bit of a situation where I was sort of scrambling up this bank to try and not get done by cows and bulls. And I thought, at least I won't climb up here. Anyway, the long and the short of it is, I did get out, and then I got home and I found that none of it had filmed. So I've been having some terrible technical problems just lately, and I really need to get on top of that, because you know, it really is annoying to get back and find I've got nothing to upload. Still, onwards and upwards. Right, so now we're going to walk down here again. I think at some point we're going to have to cross the motorway. which I can hear in the distance. We're about to turn right up here, and I think that leads us to eventually to a motorway crossing. The other thing lately is I've been completely snowed under with work, and you know, I've had a couple of projects at home, you know, some painting and decorating, that sort of thing. So I haven't been able to get out as much as I'd like. So that, along with the weather, has made things quite tricky. So we've gone to a slightly longer period in between films. We've gone from like 5 days to a week, I think. So do bear with us. Hopefully we'll get back on track before long. And you know, we'll be back to normal, putting one out every 5 days, which is my preferred, you know, my preferred output. So there we go. So we need to chuck a little right through here. Look at that ice. Looks like fur. Looks like fur. Wow, look at that. How beautiful is that? So I have a feeling that we walk in a straight line now, all the way up here. Do a little circle of whatever's at the other end, and then come back. And a beautiful horse. Oh, is that beautiful? Isn't it beautiful? Something else that quite annoyingly I've realised from not doing as many walks as I was is the old weight has started to go back on. The fitness levels have dropped. So that's another reason, or another good reason to get back on it. Because I can't have that. I can't just. It makes you feel unwell, you know, when you're sort of. It makes me feel unwell if I'm not healthy. It makes my breathing harder and makes me more lethargic. But when I do these walks, I feel like I've got all the energy in the world, which is quite strange. So. Somebody's lost their glove. I have to say, this is quite a nice walk. I mean, it's not particularly eventful, but it's quite, you know, pleasant. Might be a nice stroll. Tripped over there. Might be a nice, you know, Sunday afternoon stroll for somebody. Maybe after Sunday lunch. It's a bit wet up here. I wonder if that's gonna cause us a major problem, or whether we can manage to wade through it. What do we think? A little bit further up there, it does look quite deep. I think that's too deep for my boots, if I'm honest. I mean, they're waterproof, but they're not swim-proof. I don't think we're gonna be able to make that, unfortunately. That's the way it is. So we'll make our way back. It's going to be a slightly shortened version of the walk today, which is unfortunate, but it's too cold to go swimming. I just went foot first straight into that puddle. I'm waiting for the water to seep through, but it hasn't, which is a good testament to the boots. Oh well, that's a shame. That is a shame. But this is what happens sometimes, especially in these colder months. We'll make our way back through the village, because I've got a feeling that even if I filmed it, I didn't have any sound on when I walked through it the first time, so at least we'll get to go back for a second time, and hopefully this time we'll have some sound to go with it. I really would advise anyone to attempt things that, you know, ever put their lives at risk, particularly, you know, trying to wade through fast flowing rivers, even if it's just where the bank has broken on the side. If you start walking through it and the bank gives way, and you get dragged in, you know, you're going to be in trouble. So, as always, as I always sort of try and live by the rule of, you know, safety comes first. And that way we get to walk another day. So it is a bit of a shame. I'm slightly disappointed that we didn't get to do the full walk. But there's still the summer. By the time summer comes around, maybe we'll try it again. And there's still plenty of walks to do. Certainly in Kent. I mean, I actually at one point recently thought I was going to start running out. And that's not the case. Because there's plenty of routes. Although I have to say some of them are getting silly long, you know. Does that make sense? Silly long? You know, 20 kilometres, that sort of thing. I think there's one that takes in all the castles of Kent, and that's about 118 kilometres. So I'm not doing that in one go, I'm sure. I keep meaning to say, I don't know if I've said it yet already, but I do keep meaning to say thanks to everyone who's boosted our numbers on the channel. We've had quite a lot more subscribers. We've gone well over the 1,500 mark now. And certainly on the back of my Scottish films, I had a whole lot of comments, really positive and, you know, encouraging. So I want to thank everyone for doing that. Anyone who's subscribed or commented or liked or whatever, it really is appreciated. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. And as always, as I used to say, do tell us what you want to see. Tell us what you like and what you don't like. Because, you know, it's like I said in the early days, it's about trying to build a community of people who either like hiking or walking or, you know, driving and hiking or wild camping or whatever it is that we do. We want to build a community. So your what's the word I'm looking for? Your requests. I suppose I should say your requests are always welcome. And if we can do it, we will. And if we can't, we won't. But we want to hear them nonetheless. So, again, thank you to everyone who has liked and subscribed and commented. And hopefully we can keep it going for a bit longer. Now, there's some geese over there. I say geese, I think they're geese. They might be ducks. What do you reckon? Can you see them? I don't know if you can see them or not. But to me they look like geese. Because they're bigger. Ducks are usually a bit smaller than geese, aren't they? I've got this lovely horse as well. Just grazing away, minding his own business. Or her own business. Yeah, they've got to be geese, I'm sure. Oh, somebody's been up to no good. people do that? Why do people cause damage where things are so beautiful? I never understand that. Look at that, in the time it's taken us to get back, all that ice that was there has melted. Yeah, all the ice is melting off now. As the sun reaches its height. What time is it? It's 10:41. So yeah, the sun's getting higher. And it's not really that cold, I have to say. It doesn't feel that cold anyway. I think I can see a rabbit up there. I don't know if you can, if I stay still, and if you can just see its shadow just darting about. But I think that was a rabbit. I don't remember it being this awkward coming down here. I know that as we get to this village down here, if I didn't record it before, I'm not sure if it's picked up or not, but there are some beautiful little houses and cottages, as is quite often the way in Kent. It's going to take quite a lot of editing this film because it's a bit all over the place. I don't know if I've got sound at the start or film at the start, or I'm about to take some detours, so, and I've also had to abandon it effectively, so I don't actually know yet what I've got on film, but I'm sure we'll be able to get something out of it. Now what's just occurred to me is that, as I said somewhere along, I was going to say as I said at the start, but who knows if it was at the start or 20 minutes in, but I said that this is the Horton Kirby and St Peter and St Paul circular, and it's just occurred to me that I haven't seen anything to do with St Peter or St Paul. Maybe that was the bit that we couldn't get to, you know, the sort of second section. These are lovely houses, aren't they? Lovely little cottages. So quiet. So quiet. It's really lovely. I mean, you can imagine a Sunday morning in the summer, just sitting and having a breakfast in the garden or something. And just a peace and quiet. Yeah, this is Kirby Hall. I'm gonna stand in the dark. One of these days, I'll end up finishing a walk when the pubs are open. Problem is, I think I start them too early. I like to do the walks early so that I can still have some of the day left. Afterwards I can go home and shower and still have stuff to do. But like I say, yeah, it would be nice to be able to stop in and have a pub lunch maybe one day. Some really lovely houses down here. The White House. That's the Grey House. Oh, look at this. 1745 this house was built. How beautiful is that? So I'm going to have to stand back and have a look at that. I mean, the paintwork is absolutely amazing. Well, there's some new builds here as well. Wow, it's just lovely here, isn't it? Typical Kent village. It's a mixture of farmland, private properties, homes, cottages, farmhouses. The requisite village pub. We haven't seen a church today, but I suspect that's what St Peter and St Paul's was. So if you stayed with us till the end, as always, thank you very much. We'll be back soon with another film, and in the meantime, take care.